Welcome back to the channel, people. Thanks for tuning into this edition. We're going to be talking about the iPhone 16e in this video. And I want to take a look at this device from the angle of sales. How is it doing? Apple promised, that this thing was going to sell. A lot of people felt like this was the timing for this device, right? The economy slowing down, people having concerns about, the economy and fiscal and financial things that could be coming down the pipeline. So the 16e seemed poised for a good run, an opportunity to sell a mid-ranger at a time where, a mid-range is due. And of course, the last time they had a mid-range drop, it's been a while now. So it all kind of makes sense. However, based on most metrics, and I think across different types of comparisons and analysis, the 16e is underperforming. Here on the screen for Mac Rumors, they had this story about iPhone 16e sales lagging behind the previous SE model sales. You guys remember the SE devices, which is essentially the successor that becomes the 16e, right? Because the price point and the fact that it's not, the flagship or whatever. But I mean, there's lots of other things that you can look to besides just comparing it to the previous mid-range models from Apple, the mid-tier devices. You can look to its place, the iPhone 16e, amongst other smartphones in the world. So, the launch of this device, it's been around a while now, so we can accurately say, this is kind of what we're seeing. But the best-selling smartphones, at least through this year, and we'll get the Q2 data really soon, the best-selling smartphone was the iPhone 16, followed by the 16 Pro Max, followed by the 16 Pro, followed by the 15. The iPhone 16e is nowhere near the top 10 sellers in Q1. Like, I'm looking at the 16 Plus outselling it. The Galaxy's got like 2 or 3 different A models. You guys know the Galaxy A series. The S25 Ultra is selling better. The Redmi 14C 4G is selling better. I don't even know what that is, because we don't have access to those phones on this side of the pond. But Apple's claiming that this was going to be this great selling phone, and it was going to get people into the, Apple Intelligence and all these other things. And it's just not selling. And we could point to a lot of different things. Maybe people don't feel compelled to upgrade. Maybe people don't want to spend the money. But like, carriers give this phone away for free. And a lot of times you don't even need a trade-in, right? You're just going to be locked in for 3 years. You get this device, right? The big thing for this phone is its place in the evolution of Apple and their hardware, right? It's really about getting away from, trying their own modem and things of that nature, along with other things, but it's expensive relative to what you're getting. And I think a lot of people know that. And I think people are more cognizant and aware of value. And this phone doesn't give it to you. And I don't care what anybody says. You got people trying to show speed tests and performance that it's just as good as, the Galaxies, and hell no. It's just not worth the money to buy this phone if you're looking for a great performer. It's a very mid phone, very mid. And some people don't care, and that's fine. But obviously, some people do, because this phone isn't really jumping off the shelves, is it? Pretty much everything, whether you're looking at a capital markets analyst or you're looking at, just sales numbers within certain regions, it's not hitting. I don't know what you want to point to. You want to say it's regional. You want to say it's the US, it's the economy, whatever. The phone's not selling. It's not compelling people to buy it. And carriers give these phones away for free. Some deals not requiring a trade-in. So there's no obstacles to keep people from wanting to get a new iPhone. I think it's just the fact that people don't want this iPhone. I mean, like, look at the phone, right? It's on the screen. It has one camera. People have been buying iPhones with multiple cameras for years. What do you think people think when they see a phone with less sensors, right? I'm just Think logically. Think like a consumer. They're going to say, oh, this must be a cheap one. I don't want a cheap one. And then some people might say, oh, I do want a cheap one, but it's not that cheap. There's clearly an issue. This phone is not resonating with the consumer. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Drop me some comments. If you have been shopping for phones and you've got family and you've got an account that has multiple lines and people have been looking for the upgrade, what's keeping you from getting this phone, or what kept you from taking it and going with something else? What was the decision? Was it the price? Was it the lack of performance? Was it something else? But it's pretty clear. The iPhone 16e is still, by most metrics, underwhelming in sales across pretty much most measurables. Whether it's comparing it to Apple's mid-range or comparing it to other manufacturers, it's just not selling. It's not resonating with the industry and the folks that buy these phones. But let me know. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you think. We're several months into this launch. What's your take on it? Let me know. Drop me some comments. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.